A man pulled over on a dark stretch of highway to help a stranded woman with a flat tire. He didn't hesitate, didn't ask questions. He just knelt on the cold pavement and did what he believed was right. She thanked him with tears in her eyes, and he drove home thinking nothing more of it. But the next morning, a black SUV rolled slowly onto his street and stopped in front of his house. By nightfall, neighbors were whispering. By sunrise, his name was everywhere, all because he chose to help. The question is, who was really being watched that night? Marcus Reed wasn't the kind of man people usually noticed. He worked long shifts at a small auto repair shop on the edge of town, kept his head down, and spent his evenings in the modest brick house his father had bought decades earlier. The neighbors knew him as polite, quiet, reliable, the man who waved first. He had learned early in life that being a black man in a mostly white suburb meant moving carefully, speak respectfully, keep receipts, avoid sudden movements when a police cruiser rolled by. It was exhausting, but it was normal. It was survival. That night on the highway, he hadn't thought about any of that. He had only seen hazard lights blinking in the dark and a woman standing alone beside her car. The air was cold. The road was empty. He knew what it felt like to need help and have no one stop, so he did. He changed the tire in less than 15 minutes. She seemed shaken, almost nervous, but grateful. He told her to drive safe and thought that would be the end of it. It should have been. But when that black SUV appeared outside his house the next morning, idling longer than any delivery truck ever would, Marcus felt something tighten in his chest. He hadn't broken any laws. He hadn't done anything wrong. So why did it suddenly feel like he had? The SUV didn't leave that morning. Marcus watched it through the thin gap in his curtains as he tied his work boots. The engine idled. Windows tinted too dark to see inside. It wasn't a neighbor. It wasn't a delivery. It just sat there, quiet, patient. When he finally stepped outside, the driver's door opened. Two men in plain clothes approached him with badges hanging from chains around their necks. Their faces were hard, unreadable. They asked his name like they already knew it, asked where he had been the night before, asked why he had approached a woman on the highway. Approached. The word hit differently. Marcus explained calmly. Flat tire, hazard lights, he fixed it. That was it. He even described the exact exit number, the tools he used, the brief conversation. He kept his hands visible the entire time, just like he'd been taught. The men listened, but not really. By the afternoon, he understood why they were there. The woman he had helped wasn't just anyone. She was the wife of a prominent local judge. And sometime after she got home, she claimed she felt threatened. She said a man had come out of nowhere, said she'd been scared. She never said he hurt her. She never said he touched her. But she said she was afraid. And somehow, that was enough. Word spread fast. By the time Marcus got to work, 2 patrol cars were parked outside the shop. His boss wouldn't look him in the eye. Customers stared. One whispered something about another one pushing his luck. Another one. As if helping someone had been an act of aggression. By evening, social media had turned his name into a warning. Blurry photos of him walking into the repair shop. Strangers dissecting his past like they were searching for proof of something dark. Old traffic tickets reposted like criminal records. The narrative was forming without him. Good Samaritan turned suspect. His mother called in tears. His younger sister begged him to stay inside. Even the neighbors who used to wave avoided eye contact. All because he stopped to help. That night, the SUV came back. It parked closer this time. Close enough that Marcus could see a faint silhouette in the driver's seat. Watching. Waiting. He hadn't been charged, he hadn't been arrested, but it felt like the trial had already begun, in driveways, in comment sections, in quiet judgments made behind closed doors. And the scariest part wasn't what had happened yet. It was the feeling that something much bigger was about to. The knock came just after sunset. Not a polite tap, not a neighborly call. It was sharp, commanding, the kind of knock that tells the entire street something is wrong. When Marcus opened the door, flashing red and blue lights painted the walls behind him. 2 patrol cars, the black SUV, and half his neighborhood watching from their porches. He was asked to step outside. The air felt heavier than it had the night before. Cameras were already out, phones lifted, recording, waiting. An officer read a statement aloud. Allegations of harassment, suspicion of attempted intimidation, words carefully chosen, each one heavier than the last. Marcus tried to speak, to explain again, but his voice felt small against the echo of sirens and whispers. He saw it in their faces. Some had already decided. He was told to place his hands behind his back. The metal cuffs snapped shut, cold against his wrists. Not because he had harmed anyone, not because there was proof of wrongdoing, but because someone powerful had said she was afraid, and his skin made that fear believable. His mother screamed from inside the house. A neighbor shut their door. Another kept filming. Marcus stood there, surrounded by flashing lights, realizing something devastating. It didn't matter that he had helped. It didn't matter that he had done the right thing. In that moment, the only thing that mattered was how he was seen. And as the patrol car door closed around him, one question echoed louder than the sirens. If doing the right thing can destroy your life, what does that say about the world we're living in? The charges never held. Within days, inconsistencies began to surface. Highway traffic cameras confirmed Marcus had approached the vehicle only after the hazard lights had been flashing for several minutes. A passing trucker's dash cam showed him working quickly, speaking briefly, then walking away without incident. There was no threat, no aggression, no crime. Quietly, the case was dropped. But the damage didn't disappear with the paperwork. Marcus returned home without handcuffs, yet the street felt different. Curtains still shifted when he walked outside. The repair shop cut his hours until things settled down. Online posts accusing him were deleted just as quickly as they had sped, but screenshots lingered. Doubt lingered. An apology never came. The judge's office released a short statement about a misunderstanding. No mention of Marcus by name, no acknowledgement of the squad cars, the cuffs, the public humiliation. Just a correction that moved on as if nothing had nearly ruined a man's life. Marcus tried to move forward. He still helped people when he could, still waved at neighbors, but something inside him had shifted. Not his kindness, that remained. It was his awareness. The understanding that in certain moments, his good intentions could be rewritten into suspicion without warning. And that's what stayed with him most. This wasn't just about a flat tire. It wasn't just about one fearful claim. It was about how quickly a black man's character could be questioned, how easily help could be mistaken for harm, and how fragile safety can feel when perception outweighs truth. Marcus made it home. But how many others don't get the benefit of camera footage? How many names never get cleared? How many good deeds are buried under assumptions? If doing the right thing still comes with this kind of risk, what would you have done that night on the side of the road?